Welcome to the Classy Counsel, Reflections for the Wise and Elegant Lady. I am Nadia, your elegance coach, and in this weekly podcast, I bring you insights on how to cultivate the attributes of a lady that is elegant and not only elevated in terms of appearance, but also on a much deeper level, spiritually elevated. You'll find cross-references made with verses from the Bible and from other sources of wisdom. Whether you are a beginner or advanced in your journey towards the most elegant version of yourself, a curious learner, or simply looking for some more elegant mindset inspiration, you are in the right place. So, grab your favorite beverage, sit back, and join me on this journey of discovery and growth. When you make a promise, you instill hope. When you keep that promise, you build trust. Integrity is defined as the quality of being honest, fair, and upright in one's words and actions. It implies consistency between its values, its principles, and its behavior. Synonyms of integrity could be probity, rectitude, honor, and loyalty. The opposites of integrity are dishonesty, corruption, duplicity, and perfidy. Integrity is a noble and rare quality. Many people like to make promises that they are not going to keep for multiple reasons: to appease, to please, to receive recognition in the moment, but to disappoint afterwards. Very, very few make it a point of honor to have a word, like a true word. Very few say to themselves, I will do everything possible to ensure that my actions are always aligned with my words. Very few keep their promises, even if they no longer suit them, even if they no longer have the strength to keep them, even if they encounter difficulties in accomplishing it, because they want their word to retain its value. Why should you worry about the value of your word when everyone lies, everyone deceives, and it's very common? Well, precisely because you are not everyone. And this is not arrogant to say, but if you listen to this podcast, it's because you are in a process of elevating yourself and you are in search for excellence. Therefore, the relationship you have with yourself will be just as important as the relationship with others. Trust, it is well known, takes time to be established. However, it can be destroyed in a single second, and then to rebuild it, it will take at least double the time and effort that it would have taken to build it initially. So why value your word? Because we need others to be able to trust us, and we need to have confidence in ourselves. We must be able to know that we can count on ourselves. Trust is a characteristic without which no one can have healthy interactions. Distrust can lead to disturbing or even toxic behavior. Because of course, if there is no trust, there is distrust. Trust is necessary to build any type of relationship and to maintain them. Couple, friendships, acquaintances, professionals, all interactions require trust. And how do you build and maintain this trust? With your word. With your word, and of course the actions that must be aligned to your word. We should be able to say about you, this is a person of his word, but this is a person that is reliable. This is a person that I can count on. I have her or his word, so everything is fine. I will not test her. I will not verify her. I will even offer her advantages over others because I trust her word. Cultivating integrity in your life as an elegant woman has many benefits. First is self-confidence and self-esteem, because knowing you have integrity builds self-confidence and self-esteem. You are not afraid to navigate your own way. You know you can count on yourself. And it's funny because it's as if we split ourselves inside and we put a task in the hands of this double and we say to ourselves, everything will be fine. I know that I will accomplish this task and I have confidence in myself. I trust I will be doing it. And this is necessary. As I repeat to you again and again, everything starts from yourself. If you do not love yourself, you cannot love others properly. If you do not respect yourself, you cannot properly respect others. If you do not have self-confidence in the sense that you cannot rely on yourself, you will not be able to engage with others in a way that is with integrity. Other benefits is the long-lasting, authentic relationships. Integrity inspires trust and builds lasting, authentic connections. And this is, I believe, connections, good connections with people are one of the main thing that gives you happiness. Happiness is in the others. I always say it. If you have good interactions with people, if you have good relationships, most likely you are a happy person. Other benefit is impeccable reputation. I spoke about reputation in my previous podcast. I invite you to go and listen to it if you haven't. But a person of integrity is known and respected for their probity and sense of honor. And I tell you, it is to you that people will turn. They will turn to you when they seek advice, when they seek security, when they seek problem solving. It is to you that they will turn to because of your reputation. This may seem like a big responsibility, but an elegant woman is generous and willingly gives of herself for the good of all. And that involves mutual aid. Finding yourself in this position where you are, sought after for your reliability, you are there among what we call leaders. So I know that when we say leaders, we think about businessmen, entrepreneurs, but that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about leaders in the sense of inspirational people. Remember, the elegant woman aspires to be a positive inspiration to help others rise. Other benefits to cultivating integrity is inner serenity that comes from knowing you are reliable. Living according to your values provides inner peace and deep satisfaction. You know that despite the tossing and turning of life, let's say, I'm just using the analogy of a boat, but your boat remains in position. You are not a small canoe in the open ocean. You are a very sumptuous vessel which holds up, which resists storms. So that's how you will feel. And last benefit I can tell you about is the positive contribution to society. Remember, an elegant woman knows herself individually, takes care of herself, loves herself, respects herself, etc. But she is aware that everything does not revolve around her. On the contrary, she knows that she is part of something much more important than her, bigger than her. She's part of a family, she's part of a community, she's part of a nation, she's part of humanity. And being aware of this, she has integrity because she knows that each individual action has repercussion on the whole. And it is better to reflect the positive than the negative. Her integrity will be contagious and will inspire others to act ethically. But how does integrity manifest in the elegant woman in a concrete way? She tells the truth in all circumstances. She doesn't hide. She doesn't manipulate. She doesn't lie. I have a saying that I repeat to myself: the truth is always the best solution. Are you stuck in a confusing situation or misunderstanding? Tell the truth. We neglect secrecy by saying it's not a big deal. As long as the person doesn't know, they'll be fine. The truth would hurt them too much. I prefer to keep it. Listen to me carefully. Lean in. Every hidden action, one day is revealed. It's always revealed, especially if this action puts you into a dynamic of repeated lies. You will never get out of it. There is always a climax, and when you have reached that climax, the harm you initially wanted to avoid will not only be done, but it will be 100 times more painful, and it will have consequences on you, on others, and on your relationships with others. Please choose transparency. Choose the truth. They say fault confessed, fault half forgiven. And personally, I prefer to be hurt with the truth that stings a little rather than left in the shadows in an atmosphere where, the bad things macerate to be abrasive at the moment when it explodes in my face. I would even tend to admire people who have the courage to come forward and tell the truth rather than those who let their fear of disappointing take over. So yeah, she tells the truth. She also respects commitments and promises. The quote at the beginning is very clear. To say promises is to establish hope. We please, and above all, we take pleasure in pleasing. But keeping your promises means building a real, solid, lasting relationship that will bring pleasure to all parties in the long term. Because let's be honest, when we say the promise, and we don't know if we're gonna keep that promise or not, but we're saying it. It really pleases us. Like we do it almost selfishly. We say it because we know we are pleasing the person who's hearing it. But when you are keeping the promise, it's even better because you're pleasing yourself, of course, but you're pleasing others for sure. She also acts fairly and equitably towards others. She makes no difference, no preference. The elegant woman considers every human being as deserving the same respect, deserving the same consideration, deserving the same treatment. See, she doesn't do good towards people because she's waiting to receive in return. She does it because of her values. She does it because she values any human being all the same. And other way an elegant woman will manifest integrity would be that she refuses to compromise or cheat. I know sometimes we can be exposed to situations where deceiving is honestly almost offered to us as an acceptable solution. But as I have just said, the elegant woman always wants to keep her actions in line with her value. If you want to work on your values, determine which ones define you. I can send you my non-exhaustive list of values of the elegant woman to inspire you, to create your model that will help you ensure that your life is directed in the way you see it as a highly valued woman. My email address is info@madamekabongo.com. So yeah, she refuses to compromise or cheat. She will choose not to deceive, not to cheat, not to compromise, and will certainly not allow herself to be influenced by a crowd, because for her, what matters are her values, her word, her integrity, her reputation. The more she acts like this, the more she stands firm in her values, the more self-confident she will be. She will say to herself, wow, I can stand in what I am. I assert who I am, and I can count on myself. She empowers herself by doing so. Now let's dive into how to cultivate integrity. How can you cultivate on a day-to-day basis? Number one, define your values and principles. I recommend you to go through the list of values I just spoke about. Second, be aware of the impact of your words and actions. I find the discourse of I say what I think, it comes out as it comes out. This attitude of I don't care really how I say things, I just say things because I'm being honest. I think this is excessively selfish because it demonstrates a lack of consideration for others, because we clearly don't care whether the consequences of our words can cause a negative effect or not. And it shows that what matters is for us to free our thoughts. And I'm not saying that we should completely restrain ourselves. As always, it's all a question of balance. But managing human interaction is an art. If you do not want to manage these interactions correctly, it is because you have not understood their importance, and you are destroying yourself and others. But you certainly destroy yourself first. Number 3, be honest with yourself and others. Choose the truth. Choose transparency. I often tell you, Human beings, when we meet for the first time, instinctively, our brain is trying to find out if the person is reliable or if they will put us in danger. That's how it is. And that's why taking care of the trust we build with each other is crucial. To be honest is to tell the truth. It's not hiding. It's not denying. It's being transparent and reliable. Which brings me to point number 4. Take responsibility for your actions. Be accountable. Elegant people do their best to be the best version of themselves, but they do not pretend to be perfect. They know their weaknesses. They know how to recognize their faults and will not hide their mistakes. They will take responsibility and know how to make up for it. They will ask for forgiveness. They will make amends. They will learn from it, and they will do better next time. Number 5, refuse to give in to the temptation of dishonesty. The crowd effect is treacherous. Just being in a certain environment or being surrounded by 2 or 3 or more people who will make something seemingly dishonest seem acceptable. The high-value woman will say to herself, this action is not honest. And the fact that many act in this way does not make this action more honest. And I won't risk it. Why? She thinks that way because she has her values. And she knows she doesn't have to be like everyone else. This is why you have to choose your friends very, very carefully, because it is said that you are the average of the 5 people with whom you spend the most time. And there is this biblical verse which rightly says something in the line that it's not the good fruit that will influence others. It is the rotten fruit that will contaminate others. It's always easier in that direction. And of course, it isn't the best. Choose your entourage based on your values, your vision, your aspirations. Your friends must be people who lift you up, who admire you, and whom you also admire. They must inspire you and push you to do good things. Integrity is an essential quality that contributes to personal development and the well-being of society. By cultivating integrity, we become elegant women in all aspects of our lives. I now conclude with this biblical verse from Proverbs chapter 12, verse 22. The Lord hates lying lips. Whoever acts loyally pleases him. If you like this podcast, if you have any questions or suggestions, don't hesitate to leave me a comment, like, or share. If you also like affirmation words, visit my YouTube channel, Madame Kabongo. You will find a video specifically on integrity in the Affirmations for the Elegant Woman playlist. For even more advices to become the best version of yourself in etiquette, in elegance, in communication, follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. You will always find me there under the same name, Madame.Kabongo. Thank you. Be a woman of your word, live truthfully, and walk with integrity. See you next week.